Gishuru.
And my name is Beatrice Nudi, and it's time to have a look at what is on the Standard. And the very first top story, of course, is something that has really touched the hearts of many, and it's a story on page 2 on killing most foul. Cheptegei is dead after fire assault. This is said to have been done by the boyfriend, which is very, very sad, very, very unfortunate. And she succumbed to the injuries. She was in hospital receiving treatment, but she succumbed to the injuries, and may her soul rest in perfect peace. And I think it's important because for it to get to that point of being burnt, it only means that it was very toxic, even leading to that point. So we need to really be careful. When you notice those signs, I mean, don't stay in that situation. Run for your life, or just run for your life. This was not even a marriage.
Bans, no.
Oh, that was
And
bad.
actually, even the Daily Nation, it's on the front page. The family of the late Ugandan Olympian Rebecca Cheptegei has blamed Kenyan police for not acting swiftly to save their daughter, who was not at peace for months before meeting her death.
Oh, my.
So it has been brewing, and such an unfortunate situation.
It's very, very sad. And she has so much talent. I mean, it only explains.
In the just ended Olympics. Yeah, sad.
It's very, very sad. And just moving on, I see still on the top page, when state sees no evil, hears no evil. Sleeping on the job, from Shakahola cult massacre to Kware murders and bungled response to Gen Z's anti-finance bill protest, President Ruto's administration has in the recent past been caught napping in a number of incidents. Some say the government should have done better. You know, there's no way we can just sweep through it and keep quiet and move on like nothing happened, because it only means that we are condoning what is it still in secret and we don't even know. So this is a story on page 4. You can look at that article. And still on the top page, I see governors fight back over slash 20 billion shilling revenue. The government has a messy fight with county governments over austerity measures introduced by President Ruto after the collapse of the Finance Bill 2024. And now governors have rejected the reduction of counties' revenue share from 400 billion shillings to 380 billion shillings, saying the funds are inadequate to cover their budgets for this year. And this is a story that is reported on the Standard page 8. I see the projected national revenue for 2024-2025, about 400 billion shilling increase from the 2.2 trillion shillings released in the 2023-2024 fiscal year. So it is now at 2.6 trillion shillings. So they are fighting back over the slash 20 shilling billion revenue. Interesting. Interesting. It's very, very interesting, because I mean, shouldn't we be working to reduce this whole budget?
Yeah.
Because it's like we are going in circles. You know, we are literally going in circles.
Whatever was promised by the president at the height of
the protest and
is now in the past.
It's now in the
we
past.
Are back
to normal. Hiyo iliisha sasa.
Yeah.
And you know, there's something someone said that scared me, but at the same time I was like, oh, it could be a reality. Someone said that Itafika Place, whatever the Gen Zs did will just be forgotten and people will move on like nothing happened. I think we were in the car with you when somebody said, I don't know who it was, but I think it was one of the presenters, and people were like, no, haiwezi saulika. But now what we are seeing with the projects that, you know, have been launched and all that, and this, it's scary. It really is scary. Anyway, still on the top page, Ruto returns with multi-billion shilling China project pledges. Again, President seals a number of deals to set to benefit various sectors, even as China unveils a 10-point partnership plan for Africa. This is a story on pages 6 and also 21. And we know what happens when now we are still picking up multi-billion shilling China project pledges. It only means our debt is still going high.
It's increasing.
And I wonder, si tupose hizi projects kwanza tumalize zenye ziko and we stabilize the economy first before we pick this up, and then we are still complaining that, you know, the money, the budget is not enough and all that. So I think we really need to think deeply about it. I don't know. I wish the president was watching. But anyway, moving on. Will Raila be the CEO of presidents? Okay, this is a story on page 7. You can look more on the same. Yesterday we did cover that amejitoa kwa ODM. Amesema sasa mimi mambo ya Kenyan politics, acha ni concentrate na African. Yeah. Politics. Yeah. We wish him all the best. And also, lastly, here I see pay boom for police officers. That is page 9. And sports, Harambee Stars AFCON acid test. That's the story on page 32. And just looking at what is on the back page, of course, it's sports. Harambee Stars have no room for error against the Warriors. Kenya hosts their AFCON qualifiers open in Kampala today before flying to South Africa, and Omala is ready to fill in the shoes of injured Olunga. That's it for the Standard.
All right, quickly we go to the Daily Nation and they go with the headline impunity, and defiance of orders has become synonymous with government officials. Acting Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli has snapped court orders 6 times over the disappearance of 3 men, joining the list of government officials defying legal directives, including on handling of protesters and cessation of abductions. It's a story you can read on pages 4 and 5. I see Justice Lawrence Mugambi. This court notes that the IG preferred to attend a workshop instead of obeying these court's order. And so no explanation on whereabouts of the missing men. The Law Society of Kenya moved to court over the disappearance of activist Bob Misheni Njagi and brothers Jamil Longton and Nadim Hamed on the 19th of August. But the acting Inspector General of Police has decided to defy the court orders. And of course, he's not the first one. And for sure, I can tell you, he is not the last to defy court orders. They feel they are above the law. But also, you know, it sets a very bad precedence when the local mwananchi sees that an IG can just ignore court orders, a CS, a PS, a senior government officer summoned by court. So are these courts only for the low-ranked Kenyans? That's the question. But anyway, yeah, that's the story. I also see police get pay rise as promotions halted. They say police officers have secured a pay rise backdated to July, even as promotions are suspended pending the appointment of a substantive Inspector General of Police. Fresh recruits into the service have got a 4,000 shillings increase, while the highest raise of 21,000 shillings goes to senior officers in the rank of Senior Assistant Inspector General. And you can read that on page 8 inside the Daily Nation. So I believe police officers, you're now smiling all the way to the bank.
I'm guessing they won't be picking things on the way now.
Because now you're sorted.
They're sorted.
Imagine minimum salary increment for police officers as directed by the president, 4,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yes, hiyo
ni internet.
All right. I also see education unions throw junior secondary teachers under the bus. That is on the back page, and going there, the fate of the 46,000 junior school teachers who are employed on contract now lies with President Ruto following their exclusion in the return to work deal between the TSC and the Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET. The government has promised to employ them on permanent terms in January of 2025, and now KUPPET and TSC also filed deal in court, and this is formally ending the teachers strike. So they filed the agreement, a consent in the Employment and Labor Relations Court, ending the teacher strike and agreeing to settle pending matters through bipartite negotiations. Yes, I also see Tigania cult. Pastor accused of brainwashing and violating women has committed the crimes since 2014 and is likely to face terrorism-related charges. Police say it's on page 2, and they say DCI looking for 15 other suspects accused of colluding with Mururu. The suspect, a pastor, because that is what is being reported. A pastor accused of brainwashing and violating women at a church in Meru has committed the crime crimes since 2014, even as it emerged that the suspect is likely to face terrorism-related charges. This emerged in court papers as Daniel Mururu was arraigned yesterday on claims of indoctrinating followers of the Kanjai branch of the East African Pentecostal Church in Tigania West in Meru County.
10 years. 10 plus years. All this time,
yes.
no one has seen sense. Like,
Then I see court declines to stop disposal of bodies. The High Court has declined to issue orders blocking the Nairobi City County government from disposing 120 unclaimed bodies lying at the Nairobi City Funeral Home as sought by the Law Society of Kenya. It's on page 3. And ruling on Cohen death inquest postponed as lawyers fail to turn up. It's on page 2. And Uhuru era officials under probe over botched Nairobi-Mombasa pipeline decommission deal. It's on page 22. And on sports pages, Harambee Stars start chase for 2025 African Finals ticket. Firat wants winning start for Kenya as they host Zimbabwe in Kampala today afternoon. So that is Harambee Stars taking on Zimbabwe this afternoon at 4 p.m. It will be at the 42,000 capacity Nelson Mandela Stadium in Kampala. And you may be asking why we are hosting a match in Kampala. It's because we don't have any stadium in Kenya that is FIFA and CAF approved to host a match of this caliber.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you remember 2002? Not 2002, 2013, the president, former, and the current president, they had said about stadia. Now we don't even have, not even new. Even the ones that we have, Kasarani and Nyayo, hazijatengenezwa, even renovation to levels that can host. You know these things are sad.
They are sad.
It's not even.
It's embarrassing.
Why are we smiling even?
For us as a nation.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Can you imagine? We have to go to Uganda.
Oh no.
Uganda.
Of all places in East Africa, Uganda.
Anyway, police failed us, says family as Cheptegei dies from injuries. Olympian's father says they had reported to the DCI about their fears for her safety in Kenya, but apparently nothing was done. And then I see Ogada Road Run ends Kenya's show in Paris. 2024 Paris Paralympics, Kenya has won only one medal at the game. So you can read that and much more. Business Daily quickly, how ministries spent 27 billion shillings on lavish travel. COB report reveals widespread breach of Ruto memo. Ni maneno tu tulisema. Trade Ministry dispatched 63 officials on one foreign trip. For 10 days to mid-December, the bosses at the Trade Ministry led a delegation of 63 officials to Burundi for a trade fair on small and micro enterprises, setting back taxpayers 50.6 million shillings. Now, this came less than 3 months after a State House directive restricted the size of government delegations for foreign meetings to 4 as part of brutal cuts to spending. So you can read that. Taxpayers risk accounts freeze in 10 billion shillings amnesty row. You can read that. And I still insist, even if we increase taxes, even if we hike whatever, if we don't sort out the matter of expenditure in Kenya, itakuwa tu ni story.
Hakuna. In fact, sijui kama kwa financial fitness, we should call someone to talk about for the nation, not now individually, but what can a nation do to be financially fit? Because honestly, we are not fit. We are overweight.
We are overweight or over. No, we don't even have a word to describe.
In fact, I don't even know how to put
We don't have. Because it's not an expenditure issue. It's not about revenue. Our problem has not been about revenue. So even if we increase taxes, even if we do what, if we don't sort out the expenditure matter, corruption and all wastage.
It's true.
This is wastage. How much money? You know, on travel, 27 billion on travel. grab your
Very
favorite
unnecessary.
copy and get to read what's happening from the county level, grassroots, kwenyu kunafanyika nini, and then to the national level. Let's continue to pray for this nation. We can't give up on Kenya. No, we can't. If you don't, we can't, because we have to go to Uganda to play a football match because we don't have a no, anyway. Acha tuende kwa VOD. Inachemsha hii story. Acha tuende tu kwa VOD. See you in a short while.